Hello dear friends and students. In this video, I am going to introduce some of the basic Linux commands for the beginners. This video is going to be very helpful if you are new to Linux operating system. Here, specifically I am using Ubuntu 22.04, the latest version. If at all you want to launch any applications in Windows, you will go to a start. Here also there is an application launcher. You just click on this. It will going to show different applications. If you click here, this is what a look of a application launcher menu. Here you have different applications listed. Just click on that particular application. You can use it. And the applications like word processor, one video player, audio player will be installed built-in. If at all you want to install new applications, how to install new applications, that we'll see in upcoming videos. If at all you want to launch a terminal of Linux operating system, just click on this terminal icon. It will launch a terminal. This is the terminal of a Linux operating system. As I told, I am using Ubuntu 22.04, the latest version of Ubuntu. So let me maximize it. Here, first and foremost, I am going to show you how to change the color of this particular terminal. Either you can right click here, or say you can go here and select preferences, and here you have a preferences. You can add your own profile, otherwise you can change the existing profile itself. Say here you can go to color and change the background and the text color, everything. Say normally, say I am going to use this one, my settings, whenever I work on programming. If you add any profiles, it will be available here, and whenever you wish you can select a different profile. Say here I will select my settings. This is the terminal setting that I am going to use. Let me make it little bit larger. If at all you want to make a text larger, press Ctrl Shift and plus, it will become larger, and Ctrl minus, it will become smaller. Now here, this we call it as a command prompt. To be specific, this is Linux command prompt. A Linux terminal command prompt consists of login name and host name. Login name is nothing but a username, the user who has logged into this computer, and the host name is nothing but a computer name. Every computer will have some name that we call it as a host name or a computer name. So here, if at all you want to see login name even, first command that I will show you is logname is a command which is going to show login name of the person who has logged in. So this is a login name, nothing but a username. And there is a command called host name which is going to show the host name. This is something like this user is at this host, nothing but this computer. That is the meaning of command prompt. Whenever this command prompt is there and cursor is blinking, the meaning is computer is ready to accept the command. Let us see the next command. One thing, dear students, all the Linux commands are in small case letters. Take care that whenever you enter Linux commands, say you are going to enter in a small case letters, and Linux is case sensitive. Nothing but say there is a difference between lowercase letters and uppercase letters. Now the next command that we see is date. So you can see today date is Wednesday 21 December 2022, and this is time also listed here, 6:22:34 seconds AM Indian Standard Time, IST. Now I want to see which are all the files and folders available on this computer. For that purpose, there is a command called ls, which stands for list. ls and enter. So if you see, these are all the files and folders available. Normally the files will be something in this color. Here say desktop downloads pictures templates, you can see these are all of same color, which it will going to indicates these are all folders, whereas a.out is a executable file, 1.c is a normal C file, and even the text file is going to show something like in this color. If you want to see whether this is a file or not, for that purpose ls has got options along with this. Most of the commands of a Linux operating system will come with options. ls I have used without any option, but most of the commands of a Linux operating system will come with added options. Like if I write ls space -l, then this stands for say long listing, list all the files and folders with all its details. If I enter here you can see, dear students, ls-l, this total 4880, it indicates the total usage of memory on the disk, and here you see the listing of files and folders. From this particular column, so what we can see, if the first letter is D, that means it is a directory, and if the first letter is -, that means it's a regular file. You can see, dear students, the D here, the name of the file, if you see at the end, the last column is name of the file, it is 8051, which is a directory. In a Linux, the folder is called as a directory and it will be indicated by D here. And if you see even documents, it is a folder which is nothing but directory, and even this is also D. Whereas if you see say 1.c, it is a text file, means nothing but a C file, it is hyphen here. And the next 9 letters here indicates read write permissions of owner, then group, and third one is others. Dear students, there are 3 types of users that we can encounter in using operating system. First, a owner who has created this particular file or folder, and second, a group where that particular user belongs to. If there are more than one user, and whenever number of users will increase, those users can be grouped into different groups and given a different types of permissions for them to access the files and folders. Some users have only read permissions, some users have read write permissions, and some users have only execute permissions. Depending upon say what permissions you want to give, a users can be grouped into different groups. Like that here, say the first is owner rights, and there are 3 different permissions. First is read, second one is write, and third one is execute. If a particular user has a permission, it will be written R, W, and here X indicates execute. And if see here in place of X hyphen is there, means the owner has not got a execute permission. Similarly, next is for a group, and the third one is for a others, other than a group. So here you can see other than a group, say remaining persons, they do have only read permission, no write and execute permission. Similarly, you can see all this, and the second column here, it indicates a number of links available to a particular file. Here you can see the 1.c, it has got only one link. This is number of links available to a particular file or folder. And the next column is, this is the name of the owner who has created the file, and this is the name of the group where that user belongs to. And next column is size of file or folder in bytes, and next 3 columns indicates the time when that particular file or folder has changed last. If it is a file, say when that file is modified. If it is a folder, like this, when any file or folder in that particular directory is modified. And last column is the name of the file or a directory. And even along with this, say for example, there is one more option like ls-a, it indicates list all the files and folders of a current directory. Even this ls, it will going to list all the files and folders of a current directory, and we'll see how to see the current directory in a next command. If you see, when I used ls alone, it has listed less number of files and folders, but if you see now, it has listed more number of files and folders, and there are so many files and folders which started with a dot. Dear students, the files and folders that will start with dot will be hidden in a Linux operating system. Before I explain this, I will show you here. Go to home folder and say, if you go to home, you can see these are all the files and folders available in a home directory of this particular user. Now say these all are listed here. When I put ls, these are all listed here. Whereas when I put ls-a, which indicates list all the files and folders, it will going to list even the hidden files and folders. Say how to see that here. Just press Ctrl H, you can see all the hidden files also. The files or folders which will start with dot is hidden. And once again you press Ctrl H, once again you can hide all the files and folders which are hidden. Right? So here you can see by using a command ls-a, you can see all the hidden files and folders. And now say similarly you can combine two options like ls-al. That indicates list all the files and folders even hidden with long listing. You can see this is what the list is. Even all the files and folders will be listed. One more important point you need to remember, dear students, here dot in a command indicates the current directory and a dot indicates parent directory of a current directory. Means when I say a dot, it is the present or current working directory, and dot indicates the parent of a present working directory. And say we'll see how to see a directory name and even how to change between the directories in the next commands. And one more, dear friends, if at all you want to know which are all the options available with using these commands, before that, sir, we don't know how many commands are there, how to come to know about that. That I will show you. Before that, say if at all you want to clear this screen, there is a command called clear, and enter it. So the screen will be cleared. And now I was telling which are all the commands available in this particular operating system. Say for example, you want to see the command starting with A, press A, then press the tab button of your computer twice continuously. You can see it is asking you display all 131 possibilities, press Y or N. Say here I will press Y. You can see all 131 commands which will start with alphabet A. By pressing enter, you can see even more commands. Here all the commands which will start with A. Similarly, if at all you want to see the commands that will start with L, press L and then press tab button twice continuously. Display all 116 possibilities. Then I will say Y. Now you can see here. And even ls, just now we were seeing ls command, you can see ls is here. Even more, so there are more commands. If at all you want to see some more commands, press enter, press enter, press enter. It will go on show all the commands which will start with L. Similarly, say any alphabet you can press and see the all options of those commands. Now one more question you may ask, dear friends, how to know about the usage of a particular command. For that purpose, there is one more command called man. Man is a command to open a manual pages related to a particular command. Like here I have written a man and then name of the command, let me write ls and then enter. You can see, dear friends, ls, this is the name which indicates a list directory contents, and synopsis means how it can be used, like ls, these are all options, and here file name can be given, even that's also option. So you can see the description of this, and these are all the arguments. This is I was telling about it. Say -a indicates all do not ignore entries starting with dot also. And even say for example, one more, I was telling about -l. Here you can see -l, use long listing format. You can go through the different options available. Specifically, the Linux has got many more options which you can study this in detail. And to come out of this, press Q, press H for help. So this is the summary. You just go through this, and to come out of this, press Q and then press Q. You can come out of this. Select this, you can access a manual of different commands. Like say the next one is the date. Press H for help. So this is like a summary. And Q, come out of this, once again Q. This is how you can see different commands and explanation of those commands. Now, so I was discussing about ls. Whenever I type ls and then enter, what I told is it is going to list only the files and folders of this particular directory. Now, if I type, there is a command called pwd which indicates a present working directory, then enter. You can see, dear friends, this is the present working directory. The first and foremost, the first slash indicates a root and later slashes work as a separator. Now this is in a root, we are there in a home, and later we are there in a username bmsg. This is the present working directory. This is the present working directory. Here if we see, we are there in a home, and just press a back button, you can see this is the home of a user, and once again press a back button, you can see this is what a root directory contains. This is actually a file system, how it is arranged. The first there will be a say root file system. This is a root file system, and within this you can see different directories are there, means different folders are there. Specifically this bin indicates all the binary files, means executable files. You can see it is loading. All these are executable files. And boot directory, it includes all the information related to booting. Similarly, say here device related files and folders are available in a div directory. This is a home directory of this computer. Say here it has got only one user. If there are more than one user, all those user home directories will be listed here, and this is the home directory of a bmsg. Now, so this is how we access in a graphical interface. There will be two interface. This whatever I have shown, this is a graphical interface, and what we are working with terminal is a command line interface. Now, say if at all I want to open and see the content of documents, first and foremost ls, and then you can type the folder or directory name where you want to list. Say here you can see it will, instead of it is listing the files and folders of a current directory, it has listed files and folders of a document directory. So these are all the documents available. And one more thing, dear friends, ls and then download. If you just press DOWN and then a tab, it will complete the name on its own. So I am going to type a capital DOWN then tab, it will complete on its own. This is what all the files and folders available. Dear friends, if you see here, this 8051, it has got even one more folder within this. So here ls, what you should give here, the next is you can give a file name including its path. Say for example, I will write 8051, then within this I want to, this is the directory. You can see these are all normal files. This is a zip file, this is a hex file, and this is a directory because it will end with a slash. Now here P, I will press and then tab, because starting with P there is only one directory. Now if you press enter, you can see the files and folder of this particular directory. This we call it as a path name. And there are two types of path name. One is absolute path and another one is relative path. And whatever the path name we have given to reach a particular directory, this is relative path, because right now we are there in a home directory of a user and this particular directory contains 8051. Relative to this we have given this particular path name. Because of that, this path name is called as a relative path name. But if you start with a root directory and then give the path name, it is called as a absolute, like a ls, then root, and within that home, and within that user, and within that 8051, and within that p89 pgm. Say if I give this path name, this is called as a absolute path name. Absolute path name starts with the root until the last directory, whichever you want to give, and whereas the relative path will start with relating to a present working directory, nothing but a current directory. The current directory is here. If I relating to this, if I start, that's what here it started. Within this you have 8051. Here you started with 8051 within a current directory. This is called as a relative path, whereas this is called as a absolute path. Whenever you want to access any files and folders in a terminal, you should know about relative path and absolute path. Most of the time we are going to use this. Now, say if at all I want to change the directory, so let us consider I will be working in documents. Every time I cannot use that relative or absolute path. Instead of that, I will change the directory. Say for that the command is cd, and once again here the path. Either you can give a relative path or absolute path, because it is the documents is there within this one only. I will give a relative path. So this is the path. Now enter. Now you can see, dear students, this tilde indicates home of a present user who has logged in. How it indicates home of a present user, that I will show you little later. So now here within a home of a present user, you are there in a document, and means this document folder is available within home of a present logged user. Now here ls, you can directly see all those things. And if at all you want to go to the home directory from anywhere, for example here if you see appraisal 2021, once again you can cd and appraisal 2021. So I am going to type app, then tab, it will complete on its own. And whereas when it comes to 2, there are two options, one is 1 and another one is 2. Which one you select? Say I will select 2021, then enter. So now you can see the present working directory. Whenever there is a space, you need to type that as a first slash and later a space, and afterwards the remaining characters. Now here if I type pwd, you can see, dear students, I am there in a root, after that home, user home, then documents, then I am there in a appraisal 2021. This is the present working directory. If at all I want to go to documents again, present working directory is appraisal 2021 and its parent directory is documents. Documents parent directory is bmsg and bmsg parent directory is home and home parent directory is root. The root is like a forefather of all the remaining directories. From the root everything will start. Now if at all I want to go to the parent directory of a present working directory, then cd space dot dot. As I told, dot indicates current working directory and dot dot indicates parent of a current working directory. Now if I enter, you can see I was there in appraisal 2021, now I am there in documents. Now once again if I press cd and dot dot, I am there in a home. And so let me show you one more thing, cd, then within a document, then within appraisal 2021. Here if I am here from anywhere, let us consider within this you might be there within a deep into a many directories, and directly want to go to a home directory, then cd space tilde. This is the symbol tilde. Now you see you directly there in a home directory of a present user. pwd, you can see dear friends. So cd, the command cd stands for change directory. Which are all the commands we discussed? We started with logname, we saw the command hostname, then the date, then ls and some of its options, later pwd, and now cd. These are some of the very basic commands, but there are so many other commands. If I continue with the remaining commands, it will go, the video will going to be a very lengthier. Let me stop here, and in the next video I am going to discuss some more commands of Linux operating system. Hope this is clear and helpful to you dear friends and students. With this, let me stop here. Thank you for watching.